Good morning, everyone. And I welcome with my team out here. I welcome our principal, Mrs. Colleen Smith, our vice principal, Mr. Troy Ward, our coordinator, Mr. Stanley, sir, parents, teachers, and students. This is one moment which we've been waiting for, as we know that this is our first inter-house quiz competition 2020-21 of Julien Day School, Kolkata. I have all the houses ready. So before we start, I would just ask our principal, Colleen ma'am, to just say a few words before we start our quiz. Colleen ma'am.
Yes, a very good morning to all my staff members, the organizers of the inter-house quiz competition, to all the students, participating students, housemasters, housemistresses, parents, and supporters. Welcome to the first online inter-house quiz, and I do hope it is a great success, something which would help us to move forward and take it up on a larger platform next time. So with these words, I ask Dominic sir to continue the quiz and take you through the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First, I'd like to introduce our scorers, which are Leon sir and Angela ma'am. Your quiz masters for today is Mr. Pathak sir and myself. We have Red House. The students are Rohan Bakshi, Shotri Ghosh, Ishikatur, and Kinjal. I hope you're all present. Greenhouse, we have Sayan Mondol, Tabogdal Chanda, Rangoli Mukherjee, and Swayam Goswami. In Blue House, we have Turjo Bhattacharya, Nairit Saha, Mandral Sarkar, and Orithro Roy. In Yellow House, we have Tatagato Banerjee, Divanka Mitra, Sundar Chatterjee, and Kaustav Goswami. As we have gone over the rules with the students and the house masters, I hope and wish you all the best. Make sure you already have one person answering the question. You know the rules. If I have two people answering, then we will have to take a call and cancel that question. So you have 30 seconds. Enjoy yourself, discuss. It's just a get together that we are having. So be free, don't take stress, and enjoy yourselves. I now hand over the mic to, we also have a timer, Mr. Bar. Sorry, Mr. Bar, I forgot about you. We'll be keeping the time, which is 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I now hand over the mic to Mr. Ajit Pathak. Sir, you can take us through.
Thank you, Dominic, sir. And I wish a very pleasant afternoon to our principal, Colleen ma'am, vice principal, Troy sir, junior coordinator, Stanley sir, parents representatives, colleagues, and beloved students. So in this quiz, we have 8 rounds. And the rounds are icebreaker, brain boosters, visual round, audio round, connect the dots, who said this, current affairs, and guess who. So before I begin with the first round, I advise the participants to keep the rules well in mind and think wisely before answering the question. So let's begin with the first round and with Red House, the icebreaker. Kaushik sir, can we have the... Yes, first go through the rules, students. Yes, Kaushik sir. Yes, the icebreaker round. Yes, for the first question, forwarded to Red House. What is the width of a cricket ball? And your time starts now.
Sir Rohan Bakshi. Sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, you have to put your camera on.
Sir Rohan Bakshi from Red House. The answer is 5.5 ounce.
Well, it's 5.5 ounce, as Red House says it. So let's go for the answer. Kaushik sir, can we have the answer on the screen, please? It's 5.75 ounce. So I'm sorry that the answer is just 25 ounces more than what you said.
Wrong.
So
I think wrong.
can we move on to the next question for the for the greenhouse?
5.75, 5.5 to 5.75.
The next question, the T20 World Cup is associated with which game? And your time starts now.
So, so I'm Swayam Goswami from Greenhouse, and the answer is cricket.
Wonderful. Kaushik sir, can we have the answer? Yes, it is cricket. And you get 10 points, 10 marks for the correct answer. Now we move on to the next question for the Blue House. The French Open is associated with which game? And your time starts now.
Sir, it's Audit Roy from Blue House. It's tennis.
Well, Orithro says it's tennis. Can we have the answer on the screen, please? Kaushik said yes, it is tennis, and you get 10 points for that. Well, we move on to the next question, to the next house. Yellow house. Yes, the question is, name the animal which uses its skin as a respiratory organ. And your time starts now. Yes,
Sir, I'm Sundar Chatterjee,
yes.
and the answer is frog.
Well, Sundar says it's frog. Can we have the answer? Kaushik sir? Yes, it is frog. And 10
Thank you,
points
sir.
for the correct answer. Thank you, students. Scorer, please. Can we have the score at the end of the round, icebreaker?
We have Red House. They haven't opened their scores yet. Blue House with 10, Green with 10, and Yellow with 10.
Thank you, sir. So, with 10 points each for green, blue, and yellow. Now we move on to the second round of the quiz show, and that is brain boosters. Can we have the first question for Red House? The question is, you can catch me, but you can't throw me. What am I? And your time starts now.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I am Shotri Ghosh, and sir, answer is cold.
Well, Shautrik says it's cold. Can we have the answer on the screen, please, Kaushik sir? Fantastic, Shautrik. It is cold. The correct answer. You get 10 points for that. Fantastic. Now we move on with the next question for the next house. That's the greenhouse. Can we have the question, please, Kaushik sir? Well, the question is, I am clean when I'm black. I'm dirty when I'm white. What? And your time starts now.
Sir, I'm Swam Goswami from Greenhouse, and the answer is a blackboard.
Well, Swam Goswami says it's a blackboard. Can we have the answer on the screen? Well, it says it's chalkboard, but we can consider it's a blackboard. Understand that. So, fantastic, Swam. You get 10 points for the correct answer. Well, we move on to the next question for the next house. Can we have the question on the screen, please, Kaushik sir? I shoot but never kill. What am I? And your time starts now. For Blue House.
Sir, it's Roy, and the answer is camera.
Well, Auditro says it's a camera. Can we have the answer, Kaushik sir? Yes, it is a camera. Fantastic. So 10 points for the correct answer. Now we move on with the yellow house with the next question. Can we have the question on the screen? Question is, I fly without wings. What am I?
It's an,
And
my name is Pastor Goswami for the Yellow House, and the answer is an airplane.
sorry, can you please repeat once again?
An aeroplane.
Sorry, I could not get that.
So it's an aeroplane.
Well, Kaustav says it's an aeroplane. I fly without wings. What am I? An answer, Kaustav says it's an aeroplane. Can we have an answer on the screen? Well, Kaustav, I'm sorry, it's time. Aeroplane has a wings. It does not flap the wings, but it has wings. So I'm sorry to give you 10 points. It is time. Well, that's the end of the brain booster round. Can we have the score on the screen, please?
Yes, after 2 rounds, finally Red House has opened their score, and red is on 10, yellow also on 10, is on 20, and green also on 20.
Okay, so green and blue on 20. Dominic, sir?
So now we have the next round, which is
Well, over to Dominic, sir, for the next round of question. I hand over the mic to Dominic, sir, for the next
Thank you,
round.
Mr. Bharat. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
And now we have the visual round. Students, before I start this round, I want you to very carefully watch the visual, think about it before you answering. Think of the question that I've asked, because if you give the wrong answer, there'll be a problem between 4 of you all. So please, with all 4 of you all, decide who's going to answer this question, because these 2 rounds, which is the visual and the music round, is very, very important. Okay? So we'll start with Red House. Looking at this poster, I know he doesn't look like me, but still, name the movie. Name the movie this poster is taken from, and your time starts now. Think carefully, take your time, you've got 30 seconds. This is a very important round. We all know who this is.
Sir, I think it is Rohan Bakshi from 8B. It is Kuli number 1.
Well, Kaushik sir, let me see. And Rohan Bakshi, you're absolutely wrong. It is Dawn. This is the poster from Dawn, Amitabh Bachchan. Okay? Sorry, Red House. That is why I told you, take your time, think carefully before you answer it, okay? Next, we go to Greenhouse. Mr. Miyagi and Daniel Russo are the 2 characters of this famous movie. Name it. And your time starts now. Recently, another movie was made with this, in accordance to this movie. So if you have a gist of it, if you watch the movie carefully, you will get an idea. All the clues are there. I've given you all the clues. All you have to do is look at the clue.
Sure.
Sir,
Please, one person.
I'm speaking for Greenhouse.
Who's,
Sir,
yes,
sir,
tell me your name, sir.
So I'm Goswami from Greenhouse, and the answer is the Karate Kid.
Absolutely right, Swayam. It is the Karate Kid. And can you tell me, Swayam, recently who was the main actor in this movie of Karate Kid, the one that was made recently? Can anyone tell me?
I'm not sure about it.
It was
sir, it
Jackie
was
Chan
Will
who was
Smith's son.
I took part as Mr. Miyagi, and Daniel Russo was taken. Who took Daniel Russo's part?
Sir, Will Smith's son. I don't remember his
Will
name
Smith's
properly
son.
right now.
Absolutely correct. Anyway, that was not the question. Just for little knowledge. We now move to the Blue House. Okay. Now this is a very important question. God gave this person 2 tablets. Name the person and what was written on it. Your time starts now. Think very carefully. God gave this person 2 tablets. Name the person and what was written on it. Take your time. You have 2 questions out here.
Sir, it's Oriflame Roy from Blue House. It's Moses and 10 Commandments.
The movie's 10 Commandments. And the person?
Moses.
But I didn't ask you. The question is name the person and what was written on it. So the 10 Commandments was written on it and Moses. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Lock किया जाए.
हाँ, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we see the answers. Yes, it is Moses and the 10 Commandments. Well done, Orithro. Well done. Be careful. They say never trust a smiling teacher. Next, we go to Yellow House. And your question is, this is a tough one. Recently, this object fell from the sky. Name the city it fell in. Maybe Thor and his family were playing somewhere, and this fell from the sky. So name this city it fell in. Your time starts now. We have many realms in the universe, Loki's from there, Thor is from there.
So I'm also Goswami from Yellow House, and this is a meteorite that fell in Sanchor, Rajasthan.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Rajasthan, I'll give it to you. Thank you, Kostav.
Sanchor.
It's a Jaipur. It's okay. I'll give it to you. So, after the 3rd round, I'll ask the scorers to give me the score. Okay, here we go. After 3rd round, we have red with 10 points, yellow with 20, blue with 30, and green with 30. Both these guys, blue and green, are going neck to neck. Now we move to the 4th round. The 4th round is your music round. And like I told you before, students, listen to it very carefully because these are tough questions, okay? Listen to it very carefully. I've given you the music from in between to complicate things, okay? So we'll start the music round and we'll start with Red House, okay? listen to your piece, and then you will answer it.
Welcome to Yukon World. The Bluetooth device is connected. Welcome to Yukon.
Can you hear it? Red House?
No, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. Just the malfunction. We are trying to get you back. 1 minute.
Welcome to Yukon World.
Sir, we can't hear anything.
Just a minute. We're trying to connect it. There's a glitch out here, so we're just trying
The
to connect it.
Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Can you hear it now?
Your voice is breaking a bit.
Can you hear it? Red House, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. This song, Genda Fool, is performed by Badshah. Who is the original singer of this song? Take your time. This song, Genda Fool, performed by Badshah. Who is the original singer of this song? This question is for Red House.
Sir, from
Who are
Red
you?
House,
What's your name?
Ratan Kahar.
Yes.
Ratan Kahar.
Let me see if your answer is correct. Yes, absolutely correct. Ratan Kahar is correct. Well done, Red House. Next question. Can you hear that, Green House? Green House, can you hear this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's your question. This song is a copy of an English song. Everything out here is just a copy, you know. Name the song. This song is a copy of an English song. Name the song. Think carefully. You've got 30 seconds. Take your time. No problem. This song is a copy of an English song. Name the song. And the time is up. The time is up. And what is the answer? The answer is Oh Carol. Can you please? Just a minute. Now do you get it, greenhouse? Oh, Carol. Okay, sir. Now we move to the blue house. Take your time, blue house. Don't rush. Think carefully. This is a tough one.
A long time ago, I heard a song on the radio. Can't do me with the name of the song.
Okay. Blue house, have you heard that? And here's your question. This song was remixed by a famous DJ who called his mixes Daddy Mix. Who was the DJ? Think carefully. This song was remixed by a famous DJ who called his mixes Daddy Mix. Who was the DJ? And your time starts now. Think carefully. Don't say Dominic Jennings.
Sir, it's Orithro Roy. Is it Daddy Yankee?
No, Orithro, it's not Daddy Yankee. And the answer is, you'll kill yourself for it. You know him very well. And the answer is Akil. Orithro, come on, you should have got that. He was the person who started this Daddy Mix, bringing all back the old songs, remixing it. Anyway, move to Yellow House. Okay. This song is taken from which famous movie? And your time starts now. Think very carefully. This song is taken from which famous movie? Kaustav, is it you?
Yes, Kaustav from Yellow House.
And what is the answer, Kaustav? Tell me.
Kabil, Hrithik Roshan.
Kabil, Hrithik Roshan. And what should I say? Okay, let me see. Besides the students, any parents or any teachers who would like to answer this?
Julie.
Who's that? Please.
Somnath Ghoshal.
What movie?
Julie.
Absolutely correct, sir. It is Julie. Absolutely correct. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
So at the end of 4 rounds, we have red on 20, yellow on 20, and blue and green are still together on 30. Okay? We move to round 5, which is connect the dots. Now, this is a very important round, okay? You have to precisely tell me the exact answer. I will be giving you pictures, I will be giving you years, dates, you have to tell me exactly which picture is connected with which date. Okay, so we'll start with Red House again. Red House, this is for you. You have three pictures on your screen. The first picture is, as you know, number 10, Pele. And then you have a couple of guys out here fighting. And you have the Wright brothers on their first flight. My question to you is, which picture is related to the year 1914? Which picture is related to the year 1914? And your time starts now. Is it picture 1, which is Pele? And you have to tell me what happened, okay? And you have to tell me, what does this picture represent? If it's Pele, you have to tell me. If it's the Wright brothers or it's the people fighting out here, you have to tell me what happened that year.
Sir.
Who is the person who said sir?
Rohan Bakshi.
Yes, Rohan, tell me.
World War II.
I can't see you. Yes.
World War One.
Which picture?
Second one.
World War I. Let me see if you're right. Yes, it is World War I. Absolutely correct. 10 points to you, Rohan, and to Red House. Now we move to green. Again, we have three pictures. We see a couple of men here who don't have jobs. Then the flying saucer was seen, and Mahatma Gandhi coming to India, okay, mixing with his followers. But my question to you is this. Which picture is related to the year 1929 and state what was it? Greenhouse. Which picture is related to the year 1929 and state what was it? Think very carefully. This is a tough one.
Sir.
Who said sir? Caesar's turn to you here.
Sir, I am Sayan Mandal from class 8B.
Yes, Sayan, tell me.
Sir, it will be picture 1. It is the Great Depression.
Is it? Let me see. Absolutely correct. The Great Depression. Very good. Very good. Greenhouse. Very good. Now we move to the blue house. And your picture is here. In the first picture, we have somebody on the moon. In the second picture, we have the first time the 70mm came into play. And in the third picture, we have our cricket team, our Indian cricket team who went abroad for the first time. And my question to you is, which picture is related to the year 1969 and state what happened? If it's picture 3, you have to tell me what happened, what was the result of the match. If it is picture 2, you have to tell me. If it's picture 1 also, you have to tell me. Come on, blue house. Think very carefully.
Sir, it's picture 1.
And why picture 1?
Sir, Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on the moon.
I need to see your face, sir. I need to see your face.
Oh, sorry.
Video on.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, sorry, throw.
Sir, it's the first picture.
Why?
Sir, in 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first man to land on moon.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Auric throw. It is 1969, man on the moon, and he was Neil Armstrong. Very, very good. Okay. We move now to yellow house. And your picture is here. In this, in the first picture, we have India lifting the World Cup for the first time. In the second picture, we have the Vietnam War. And third picture, we have Mr. Ronald Reagan. My question to you is, which picture is related to the year 1983 and state what important event took place? which picture is related to 1983, and state what important event took place. Your time starts now. Think very carefully because they are very closely related. Yellow House, think very carefully.
Sir, Sundar Chatterjee from Yellow House. The answer is the first picture. India lifted the first Prudential World Cup in the year 1983.
Are you sure, Sundar? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Lock किया जाए.
yes.
Lock किया जाए. Tell
Sir,
me.
I couldn't get.
I'll lock it. Are you sure?
Yes, yes, sir, sure.
Okay, let me see the answer. Yes, it is 1983. India won the first World Cup. Okay. So that's the end of the first 4 rounds. And before we move on, I'd like to inform you all that our chief judge for today is our very own principal, Ms. Colleen Smith. If any problem takes place or any dispute, ma'am will be the one to decide the final say in the matter. 5 rounds, we have the scores, and now it is very, very close. And the scores are Red House and Yellow House are with 30, and blue and green with 40. It is very, very close. So I now ask my other quiz master who's waiting patiently, Mr. Vijay Pathak, to take over for the next 2 rounds.
Thank you, Dominic, sir. Yes, we'll move on with the 6th round. Who said this? And the first question will be given to Red House. So, Kaushik, sir, can we have the question on the screen? And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what, together, we can do for the freedom of a man. Who said this? And your time starts now. Red House. Yes. You have 30 seconds of time. Think wisely and then give the answer.
Sir Rohan
Yes, Rohan?
Sir Rohan Bakshi from 8B. The answer is Abraham Lincoln.
Well, Rohan from Red House says it's Abraham Lincoln. Kaushik sir, can we have the answer?
Is there anybody in the audience, parents, teachers who know this answer? The audience. It's very, very famous. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Any teacher, any history teacher?
Sir.
Sir, can I?
Not students. This question is for the audience. Any teachers, parents?
JF Kennedy.
Who said that?
Well, Stanley sir.
Stanley sir. JF Kennedy. Let me see.
Well,
and it's correct. It's John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So the answer is John F. Kennedy. So we move on with the next question to Greenhouse. Mujhe jangli billiyan pasand hai. Now, who said this? It's a famous dialogue of a Hindi movie. And your time starts now. Greenhouse. Yes.
Sir, I am Sayan Mondal from class.
Yes, Shayan Mandal.
The answer is Amitabh Bachchan.
Well, Shayan, do you think an answer? Sure of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shayan is sure of it. So, Kaushik sir, can we have the answer on the screen? Yes, it is Amitabh Bachchan in Dawn, and Shah Rukh Khan also played this movie. He was also in the latest movie. He was also in the same movie in Dawn. So 10 marks awarded to Greenhouse. Next, we move on to Blue House. The question for Blue House is: you can't change how people treat you or what they say about you. All you can do is change how you react to it. Who said this famous line? Yes, and your time starts now. Blue House.
Sir, it's Aditya Roy and it's Mahatma Gandhi.
Well, Orithro, after thinking wisely, you're giving the
Yes,
answer
sir.
to be Mahatma Gandhi. Well, let's see whether you are correct or not. Kaushik sir, can we have the answer, please? Yes, it is Mahatma Gandhi, and Blue House is awarded 10 points for giving the correct answer. Well, we move on with the last question of this round to Yellow House. Can we have the question on the screen? I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. Who said this famous line? And your time starts now. Yellow House. Yes, you have 30 seconds. Think wisely and give the answer.
So it's Martin Luther King Jr.
So can I have the student? Can you please name? What's the name? What's your name here?
Costa Yellow House.
Okay, Costa from Yellow House says this famous line was spoken by Martin Luther King. Can we have the answer on the screen? Kaushik sir? Yes. Costa, you are correct. It's Martin Luther King Jr. So 10 points again awarded to Yellow House. So we have come to end of the sixth round. And scorers, can you please?
Mr. Pada, can I interfere 1 minute? Okay. Before we go to the next round, I would like to welcome Principal of Howrah, Rejdosa. Thank you, sir, for bracing this occasion of ours. We welcome you for our first online quiz. The score after the sixth round.
Thank you so much.
The score after the sixth round.
Yeah.
Points. Yellow with 40, and blue and green at neck to neck with 50.
Well, Dominic sir, can you please tell once again?
Red House is 30, yellow House 40, and blue and green with 50 each.
Okay, so blue and green. Well, now we move on. Thank you, Dominic sir. Now we move on to the seventh round of the questions, which is current affairs. And we will face the house which will be facing the first question is Red House. So, Kaushik sir, can we have the question on the screen? Which movie made in 2010 stated that coronavirus will hit mankind later? And your time starts now. Red House. Think wisely and give the answer. And you are pretty well known about this coronavirus, which we are facing now, the pandemic through which we are going through. Red House.
Sir, it's Ishita Toor from Red House. The answer is Contagion.
Yes, what's your name, dear?
Sir, I said this is Ishika from Red House, and the answer is Contagion.
The answer is Contagion.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we have the answer on the screen, Kaushik sir? Yes, it is Contagion, and Red House is awarded with 10 points. Well, next we move on with a question to Greenhouse. Question please, Kaushik sir. Which date was recently revised as Doomsday according to the Mayan calendar? And your time starts now, Greenhouse. Think wisely and then answer. Students, don't be in a hurry. You have 30 seconds. So no need to rush. Sorry, time is up. Can we have the answer on the screen, please? Kaushik sir?
Does anyone in the audience know the answer? Teachers, parents?
Yes.
Does anyone know the answer? It was a very important occasion on that day. It was a Sunday also. And we had the eclipse also that day. Does anyone know the answer? Mr. Bar, do you know the answer?
I know the time.
Okay, tell me.
Basa knows the time.
Only I can give you the time.
The answer is 21st June 2020.
The answer is 21st June 2020. Well, so sorry to say that no points was awarded for this question. We move on to the next question for Blue House. Name the two people who were sent into space by Elon Musk's SpaceX. To Blue House, and your time starts now. Think wisely, students. Think for it. Two people who were sent into space.
Sir, it's Auditor Roy.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, it's Robert. Sir, it's Robert Bucky and Douglas. Sir, Douglas Hurley.
Okay, so what Auditro says, can we have the answer on the screen, Kaushik sir? Yes, Bob Bipkin and Doug Hurley.
Yes, we can give it to him.
10 points awarded to Blue House. So next we move on to the next question to Red House. The question is, the world leaders came together to create a network of satellites to control the global climate. In which movie is this shown?
This question is for Yellow House.
Yes, this question is for Yellow House, and your time starts now.
This is a very famous movie. I must have watched it, but I've not connected the dots.
Yes, students?
Sir.
Yes.
I'm Kaustav Goswami from Yellow House.
Yeah.
The movie is Geostorm.
Okay. So Kaustav says, Kaustav, please, can you tell it once again?
Geostorm.
Geostorm. So Kaushik sir, can we have the answer on the screen? It is Geostorm.
Absolutely.
Well, 10 points awarded to Yellow House.
And now we come to the last round.
Yes. Can we have the score on the?
Yes, the scores.
Yeah.
We have red in 4th place with 40 points. Now we have green and yellow with 50 and blue leading before the last round with 60.
Congratulations, Blue House.
You still have one more round. So all the best to all teams.
So I'm giving the mic over to Dominic sir.
Thank you, Padak sir. Now, this is a guess who round. You have to guess the famous personality. Think very carefully before you answer. My first question goes to Red House. This man is best known for a founding fast food chain, something which you all like, and not like, you love it. You have to name the person, or you name the fast food chain that he has started. Anyone? The fast
Sir.
food. Yes, who said sir?
Sir, Shotrik Ghosh.
Yes, Shotrik, tell me.
The KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Absolutely correct. It is KFC. Okay, 10 points for you. We move to Greenhouse. Greenhouse, your question is: an aggressive Indian right-handed opening batsman and a part-time right-arm off-spin bowler. He played his first one-day international in 1999 and joined the Indian Test team in 2001. Okay, holds the highest score by cricket Test cricket as 319 versus South Africa. Who is this person?
So I'm Swayam Goswami from Greenhouse, and
Yes,
the answer is Virendra Sehwag.
And the answer is Virendra Sehwag. Let me see if you're right. Yes, it is Virendra Sehwag. Very good, well done. Very well done, Greenhouse. Blue House, your question up next. Okay, this is a tough one. British statesman who was the Prime Minister of the UK from 1940 to 45. And again, in 1951 to 1955. His famous Iron Curtain speech on March 9th, 1946, which later becomes part of a political vocabulary, is unforgettable. He won a Nobel Prize for Literature. He was succeeded by Clement Attlee as PM of the UK. He was remembered for leading Britain through World War II. That is your clue. Who is this person? Blue House.
Sir, it is Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill. Let me see. And you're absolutely correct. It is Winston Churchill. It was a tough one, but very well done. Now we come to Yellow House. It is the second largest political organization after the United Nations. Okay, in terms of international representation. The headquarters of this intergovernmental organization is in Lyon, France. You have the CBI is the head of this organization in India. If you can connect the dots of these two, tell me, which organization is this? I deliberately went from 2 to 5 so that you could connect the dots.
Sir, it's also from Yellow.
Yes.
House. It's Interpol.
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 Absolutely correct. It is Interpol. Absolutely correct. And with that, we come to an end to the quiz. I now will ask our Principal Colleen ma'am to say a few words. Colleen ma'am. Colleen ma'am, are you there?
Well organized quiz, innovative, students well prepared. They seem to have known all the answers. Very good students. It's the first time I've attended a quiz where 95% of the answers were given. Well done. I think we have our parents rep in the audience, Somnath Ghoshal. Sir, can you say a few words, please, in regard to the quiz? Mr. Ghoshal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Could you say something, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Principal Ma'am. Good afternoon
Good
to the
afternoon,
teachers
sir.
and everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
The questions were really well prepared, but as Ma'am said, it was really well prepared, and the program was really well coordinated, conducted. I find it is very informative for for the part of the students, and those who have all like me. Many questions were also unknown to me also. But then through these programs, I came to know about much. Those answers were clear to me now, and I think the school should be conducting this kind of programs off and on, so that it enriches the knowledges of the student, general knowledge of the student. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. That was inspiring, and I'm sure my teachers are inspired by that. So now, teachers, start getting ready for the next quiz. Yeah. All right. Well done, and very well done, students. Okay, so I think it was very well organized. There were no hiccups, and the first time, good. Dominic, you were very motivating. I know I would have answered all the questions. Yeah, we need
Thank you, ma'am.
we
Thank
need
you, ma'am.
someone like that. Yeah, we need someone like that to motivate you. Mr. Pathak, you were good too.
Thank you.
Putting the questions across to the students. Well done, well done. Thank you to the scorers, and thank you to all members of the staff involved in this
Thank you, ma'am.
event, and
Thank you, ma'am.
great appreciation. I was not part of it at all. Housemasters and mistresses, good choice of students. Well done. You're always on your toes, and I keep you all moving around, getting things organized. Very well done. And it was so nice to have Mr. Ghoshal on board, because his kid is not in the afternoon yet. I think he's in the morning still. But it was so nice to have him with us, and we always need a good feedback. And that was a wonderful feedback, and it definitely inspires us and motivates us to move ahead. And truly, this was very well done. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. And thank you, my dear students, for this wonderful performance. Maybe once we get back to school, you will be awarded. Till then, just be happy, looking at the points, and being cheerful. God bless you and have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Ghoshal. I now ask our Vice Principal, Mr. Ward, to give the vote of thanks.
Yes, very good afternoon.
He's read from the paper.
At this quiz competition, Inter-House Quiz Competition 2020. I hope I can be heard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would like to thank Mrs. S.E. Broughton, our Managing Trustee, Mr. J.G. Broughton, our Chairman, Mrs. Sharmila Broughton, for always giving us that support and being with us for each and every program. A special thank you to our principal, Mrs. Smith, for all her encouragement and support and guidance. That is why today the quiz has come out perfect. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. I would like to thank our coordinator, Mr. Stanley, for always there with us. I would like to thank the parents' representatives, Mrs. Ajanta Mitra and Mr. Somnath Ghoshal, for taking that keen interest to try to attend our programs. I would like to thank our quiz masters, Mr. D. Jennings, Mr. A. Phatak. Thank you for the wonderful job done. I know and I'm sure it has brought confidence in you. I would like to thank Mr. Bar, the timekeeper, the two scorers, Mr. A. Leon and Miss Angela Gomes, for helping out in keeping the score and also putting their heads together with questions. A big thank you to Mr. Kaushik Ghosh, the IT person, for getting the quiz questions and visuals to be displayed on the screen so that it became convenient for the students, for the viewers, and also for the quiz masters. So he has done the key job. Thank you, sir. A big thank you to the 4 house masters, to the assistant house mistresses for getting the team together and also putting in time to guide them how to come in and answer, so that there was no confusion. These students went under a little training so that the quiz could go on smoothly. Thank you, teachers. The house masters, Mr. Saurav Ghosh, Mr. Sayan Mukherjee, Mr. A. Tripathi, Mr. A. Sadhu, the house mistresses, Mrs. M. Sa, Mrs. Shabana Faiz, Miss P. Ray, and Mrs. Preetha Samadar. Thank you very much. How could we end the show? A very big thank you to our participants of the 4 houses for preparing well and following the instructions to the T. A big thank you to our parents for always being a constant support to Julien Day School and encouraging your ward to keep taking part in the school events and helping to keep the Julien Day School flag flying high. Thank you, dear parents. A very big thank you to the principal of Howrah, who so kindly watched our program today. Thank you very much, Rajdo sir. Thank you. Thank you to all the office staff and teachers who were directly or indirectly involved with this competition. I would like to thank Mrs. Roma Banerjee and Mr. B. Chakravarti for being an instrument to help in feeding in questions for the quiz. Thank you once again to our dear principal. God bless each and every one of you. And thank you for being with us today. Thank you.
Roy, sir?
Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
will I be declaring the results today?
If you have it ready, Dominic, you may do so.
Okay,
If
ma'am.
you have it
Okay.
ready.
Yes, ma'am, it's ready. Okay. In the fourth position, we have Red House with 50 points. Red House, no problem. As ma'am says, we'll be having more quizzes. It'll get more tough. So you can try next time. In the second position, we have two houses with 60 points, green and yellow. And in first position, we have blue house with 70 points. And the of this 2020-21 quiz is Blue House. Congratulations, Blue House. Green House, Yellow House, Red House.
Thank you, sir.